my God, it's Friday. Welcome to the show. This is Your View, and I am Tokwe Mark Odige. With me, as usual, Nima is looking green.
In house.
Green
House
in
of
House
BC.
of BC.
Say it again.
I'll do a catwalk later. Check out. Stay posted. I was keeping posted on my page. See the full
look.
So BC is now catering to us Muslims.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
You look good. I love the color. It just walks you all through.
Grateful to God. We don't look like what we've been through. We look nothing like what we've been through. I'm grateful. I am looking forward to a restful weekend. We have a party that we must show these family members. I don't know if it's right to call this son, but I call them my baboko. Been with me from day one of my marriage, and we have to show up for them now. My husband's school friends from
okay.
So supportive. I've not seen a supportive family like that. To do as much, as little as I can.
Well done. Well done.
Ma'am, I love your hair. This girl gets it.
Oh, thank you. So my daughter will be on a show on STV tomorrow. It's called Amazing Kids Show. You know, she likes to do all these crafts. So she'll be on the radio as well. It will show on TV. Yes, it's Saturday tomorrow at 10 a.m. So we're really excited.
As in,
That's
I'll be on their online page.
I'm sure she would love it.
I hope she does, because she says, no, I don't want. I say, you're always talking our ears off at home.
Go and talk
Go and talk where people hear.
No, you know, there's a breaking stage. When she finally breaks that, trust her. She's a natural.
That's amazing.
Looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
Obiajulu.
I want to sleep. It's only sleep that's on my mind. I want to sleep. Thank God it's Friday. So I think I have a meeting after work. When I get home, I'll try and rest before Oga comes back, because it's Friday. You know, we got to do what we got to do on Fridays. So if you know what I mean. But I need to rest first before that. So let's leave it. Yes, I'm uploading the last episode of season 1 today. Wow. That's true. So if you guys have not watched, please go and watch, subscribe.
Binge.
Just binge
what
on.
What do they call it? Omnibus.
All at once. Yeah. So enjoy yourselves, and we're hoping for sponsorship so that we can go back on set and shoot the next season.
Oh my God. So I wanted to just, I wanted to share about my experience over the past few days. It's been phenomenal, but I've talked BC's ears off full. Like BC is not in class with me, but BC knows everything that happened in class because since I've been in her house, she's the one that she's receiving the gist. The few times I can talk to my husband, but this weekend for me, I have an investor, one of my investors in my real estate business from last year, who is a Nigerian, but he lives in Australia. He's been in Nigeria for over a month. He said he has shifted his flights twice, that he's having so much fun. Wow. He flies to Abuja, he comes to Lagos. He said, I thought you paid me my money. I said, hey, see my money, you have my interest. I'll use my interest to go and have more fun. One of the things I love about him is he's a Nigerian living in Australia, but he loves to invest in Nigeria. And he's about to buy a house in Abuja. He's so happy about of course, there are issues. He's not saying there are no issues, but he's enjoying his time here. He said he's so happy. He enjoyed Abuja, he enjoyed Lagos, and he loves the zeal. He not only invests in my business, he has other people that he has invested into their businesses, and he's visited their offices and seen how people are doing well in Nigeria. Don't make it look like you don't talk about this enough. And the reason I had to share this story is because the first time I saw this message is somebody sent me a video and said, Nigeria is not working. And my reply was, Nigeria is working for me. And it's working for all those who believe it will work for them. Yeah. And we need to start changing that narrative, because this guy's testimony, I wish I can record it. He was so happy that his investments panned out. Many of it, a few failed, but many panned out. And we need to start sharing the good stories about Nigeria in the midst of the challenges that we're going through. There are lights. I agree. Small, shining there. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. We'll be starting front page review with The Nation. Major headline: Federal government insists on no work, no pay rule for varsity workers. Government ASUU differ on salaries, payment platform. Students to sue teachers, ministers as well. Government weighs options on petrol subsidy cash. Daily payment hits 18.69 billion naira. Tinubu, Shetima ticket, best for Nigeria now, says APC chair. Security, Tompolo wins multi-million-dollar pipeline contract. Lagos extend Okada ban to 4 more councils. $418 million Paris Club refund. Our case against Malami by governors. NPA generates 172 billion naira in 6 months from the managing director. And PDP, BOT chair, Jibrin cautions Atiku, Wike camps. So, what do we start with?
Major headline.
Okay.
So, the Minister of Education, Adamu, said that the insistence by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, that's ASUU, for payment of their 6-month salaries of the strike is what is stalling the negotiations. And they are saying that they had presented the matter to the President Muhammadu Buhari, who rejected it outrightly, saying that there's no work, no pay. They are going to follow through on it. You don't expect to be paid for a work that you have not done. And they are also saying that, that's according to the minister, that who will not compensate the students who have been at home for over 6 months, that if the students really need compensation, they should take ASUU to court. But my own personal opinion is, since we are fighting for the good of all, ASUU really needs to prove to us that their interest is not for their personal pocket as well. Everybody needs to tighten their belt in this case. So you have not worked for 6 months, but according to what I read this morning, that the federal government has agreed to every other thing that they have put aside these 6 months salaries they are asking for. They should forgo it. Because nobody will compensate the students who are at home for over 6 months. Who will pay them for the time that is lost? If they are really serious about this fight, they should forget about the salaries because they did not do the work and get what the federal government is giving them so that they can go back to school.
Wow.
Personally.
That's a huge sacrifice.
Because if we were to look at it that way, they would say when the students come back, they are going to, take them on what they have lost. So if they are going to take the students through what they have lost, the 6 months that they have lost, they can't move on. I'm just saying if that is the
no, but they can't move on if they don't take them. So we just count it that there's lost time. There's a gap in time.
Wow.
You can't move on.
That's a huge one.
Yes. So government weighs options on petrol subsidy cash. So daily petrol subsidy payment has hit 18.397 billion. The Minister for Finance says that is daily. This is what we pay for subsidy. And there are a lot of numbers here. So this meeting, there was a meeting called, is the House of Reps investigative hearing on petroleum subsidy. And the Minister for Finance was there. And she's saying that based on our current numbers, how much we're paying to subsidy, she's hoping that this would lead to a meeting where there'll be other people, stakeholders and other people within the industry, political parties, they'll sit and talk about whether Nigeria can continue to carry this burden of the subsidy, given this new number. And he says if the daily number is at 18.397 billion daily, by the end of the year, from January to December, it will be 6.715 trillion, and we cannot afford it. She also gave a breakdown of how much we have paid as subsidy over the years. She gave an amount between 2013 to 2016 and the different accounts that have been used, to pay for this subsidy. Anyway, the couple of questions at the end of her session, they said the chairman of the committee, Rep. Ali Ibrahim, queried the complicated formula for computation of the fuel subsidy and just, different sort of questions. I would like to see how this moves on to the next meeting and if we can finally make a decision, because obviously we can't afford this amount.
Honestly.
Account for how much it consumes of the product it's in trouble. This one don't even can deflate. I was excited. I wanted to think the MPA generates 172 billion, 0.285 billion in 6 months in the first half of 2022. But
when we now take that money and put it into...
Okay. So, according to the managing director of the MPA, Bello Koko, the MPA generated 172.285 billion in 6 months, and that amount of money, only 78.4 billion was remitted into this consolidated revenue fund account. And he gave a breakdown of how the remittance was done. 50 billion was done in cash remittances, and 25% of the revenue generated went for, that's 25% of the revenue generated, and then a 28.2 billion relates to the remittances concerning other periods. That's just the breakdown of it. We don't know where the other excess went to and what it was used for in this story, but that's how he gave the breakdown. And he says this is very encouraging of the agency, and shows that they are productive. But then we are using it to build subsidies.
Yeah, exactly.
So Tom Polo wins a multi-million-dollar contract to curb oil theft. So essentially, this is not a new contract. It's a renewal of the contract that was paused under the previous administration of the former presidents, Goodluck Jonathan, and the minister, Deizani. They created this portfolio of contracts to secure the waterways and prevent bunkering and oil theft. And it was successful because the government was able to increase production capacity to about 2 million barrels per day. Right now, the government isn't doing that well. Nigeria isn't producing to capacity because we're losing over 500,000 barrels to illegal bunkering daily. So they now brought back the Tom Polo deal, giving him the contract where he'll be making, the total amount he's making per month is about 4 billion naira. However, it's not just going into his pocket, because immediately the contract was awarded to him, he organized a massive meeting in his country home that saw 5,000 youth leaders of all the Niger Delta community gather in his house. So one of the people that attended the meeting said, I believe that Tom Polo the new deal with Tom Polo would work because he has the network and credibility to act as a bridge between the communities and the government. So he brought in warring youth cult groups within Niger Delta all together, as well as all the generals in MEND, which was his organization before, and other youth leaders generally, to talk about how to now secure the waterways to prevent more loss and increase our production capacity. Looks good. We could have avoided this.
Community management. Yeah. Getting the community and get them
involved, So we'll go on a break right now. When we come back, we'll continue with front page review. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We'll continue the front page review with the Punch major headline: endless borrowing. Debt servicing gulps 13.17 trillion naira under Buhari. Education suffers. You can miss the picture. Massive flooding. Commuters groan. Business shut down as Songo-Ota Road collapses. Association fumes as Lagos extend ban on Okada. Lawless soldiers brutalize cop for seizing colleague's motorcycle. Police uncovers shrine with 20 cops suspects kick. Trapped Forex, more airlines to suspend Nigerian operations. Our federal government to end petrol subsidy in June 2023. Why Muslim ticket is problematic for Nigerians, that's from PFN. Take battle to terrorist hideouts. Buhari orders military. Sean Rivers votes. Lose poll. Wike wants PDP. So, human interest, definitely.
Yes, so some soldiers attached to the Abalti barracks in Surulere, Lagos, allegedly brutalized 3 policemen for arresting a yet-to-be-identified man who they are suspecting to be one of the soldiers, who was caught defying the state government ban on Okada in the area. So he was riding his Okada around Ojuelegba to link the barracks when the policemen caught him, and they were trying to enforce the ban on him by taking his motorcycle. Before they realized it, about 20 soldiers came at them, started beating and brutalizing the policemen in question, and then took away the bike, took the man, and headed straight to the barracks. One of the policemen was badly injured, and so he was taken to the Randall government hospital for treatment. The police has confirmed the story, said they've sent a message to the soldiers, and they are hoping to get a response back on what is going to be done about those soldiers who attacked the policemen. I'm just wondering why there seemed to be a disconnect between the security agencies. That they're not supposed to be working hand in hand. So it's painful.
All right, so what has the story about the...
I've got a picture story.
Yes.
So this is just to highlight the deplorable condition of the Songo-Ota end of the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. The correspondent for The Punch says that, you know, you can see that the road has totally collapsed and is affecting residents and as well as businesses. They also talked to a few residents and business people around there. Getting on the road, people have to go via one way because the road itself is just, as you can see, there's no road.
There's no road.
There's no road anywhere.
That's
and then those who run their businesses along that road say business has definitely declined since the road became this bad. He says that a few of them, those that sell tiles and other household wares, have said they haven't gotten clients in a long time because of this.
The Shrine story.
Yeah, I have it in another paper.
Okay, let's move on to Daily Sun, major headline. Angry Buhari orders security agents to sweep out terrorists. Direct Humanitarian Affairs Ministry orders to ensure IDPs return unhindered. In other news, Lagos extend ban to Okadas to 4 other local governments, 5 LCDAs. Obi accuses APC, others of disinformation, deceit. Certificate forgery suit against Tinubu, APC, INEC for hearing October 12th. Oshuguba, court strikes out suit seeking to nullify Adeleke's nomination. Transactions on eNaira app hits 4 billion naira. That's from Emefiele. Nigeria spends 18 billion naira daily on subsidy, says Finance Minister. ASUU federal government talk ends in a deadlock. And 2023, PDP goofed by not zoning to Southeast. That's from APC chair. So.
Okay, so let me quickly take the ASUU story. Yeah, so the suits somebody are taking an action to court to strike out this, the name of, the nomination of the PDP governorship candidate, who is the governor-elect now of Osun State. And the court struck out that suit because, of course, the person who brought the action had no locus. That means he has no capacity or rights to, to bring that action in court.
So that was basically it. So soldiers, 2 gunmen, lady killed in Abia State.
Sad story here at Ebem Ohafia, in Ohafia local government area of Abia. On Wednesday, they said that a group of unknown gunmen had seen a soldier, but in plain clothes, and they said they trailed him, got to a spot, and then shot him. The soldiers, other soldiers heard about the incident, and in response, they went there. When they got there, the unknown gunmen attacked them, started shooting at them. The soldiers were able to kill 2 of them, but unfortunately, an innocent person got shot as well. They said that she lived in the area with her father, and then this stray bullet just hit her and she died instantly. The family, of course, is really is aggrieved, and the military they have also confirmed that this incident happened and that those 2 unknown gunmen were killed. My heart really goes out to the family of this young lady.
Really sad. Let's move on to the Vanguard, major headline. We've taken the story about how the Nigerian government spends 18 billion naira daily on fuel subsidy payment, but we haven't taken the story about $600 million trapped in Nigeria, foreign airlines pull out of Nigeria. And then we have another story we haven't taken. Lagos extending Okada ban to 4 more local governments, and some northern governors destroying primary education. Let's talk about...
I took that. So this was at a ministerial media briefing, and the Minister for Education, Adamu, was just saying, in response to a question about the failure of the nomadic education, that had been put together by the previous administration of Goodluck Jonathan, and, why it had just fallen by the wayside. He says the problem with nomadic education is the exact problem with primary education, especially in the north. And he says when he first came in, he had said they had to declare a state of emergency over education. especially with primary education in the North. He says he does not feel that the governors in the North were doing enough to manage that sector. And so that's why we have, he's talking about over 6 million children, out-of-school children as of today, and everyone is moving from the different areas in the North to Abuja. And he says that it's important that these Almajiri and these nomads have a place that they can go and receive education wherever they move to. And he feels that the state governors need to declare a state of emergency within their states, and then government can now help, heavily. But at this point, without state governors' willingness to put in the work, government can only give a little help here and there. And that the problem now concerning all the other levels of education would not make, whatever government does wouldn't really make a difference if foundational education is not addressed. So please, I mean, this is a serious indictment of the northern governors. We need to do better when it comes to primary school education and out-of-school children in this region.
Yeah, so foreign airlines are complaining seriously that they're not able to repatriate the funds that they make operating in our airspace. And as at July ending, the funds for over 20 foreign airlines has risen to over $600 million US. And stakeholders are saying that if this is unchecked, it will likely get to 1 billion by the end of 2022. So because of this, United Arab Emirates, Emirates have said that they are not going to be doing business in Nigeria from September 1st. So they are going to find ways to return those people who have booked their tickets because they can no longer keep making losses in the country. I think British Airways too is planning to probably stop working in Nigeria for now till they are able to also get their resources. But some stakeholders are saying that this is, especially for Emirates, that this is you people's fault. You heard that Nigeria Air was coming, that there was a plan to have our own airline going straight to Dubai, and you people decided to quickly increase your own. You were doing from Lagos, like twice daily from Lagos to Dubai, Abuja once daily. You increased it to 3 times because you wanted to monopolize the market. And didn't you know before that Nigeria is suffering dollar issue now, and you may not be able to get out?
The challenge is that many people will now start going to Ghana to get out. Like they will travel to Ghana. We take the business over there. Really, really sad. I want to take the story of the National Grid shutdown. An expert was being interviewed by Vanguard, and the person was breaking down how selfish it was that even under military era, that everybody was going on strike. One institution wasn't allowed to go on strike then, was NEPA, because of the impact it will have on the insecurity challenges that we're facing, saying that people should realize that insecurity would thrive, crime would thrive when there is darkness, and putting the country at total blackout, which was what the National Union of Electricity Employees did yesterday, was putting the country at huge risk. That the police run on several apps. There are many, the Vigiscope app, the Police Command Center, the Military Command Center, all of those which are powered could have shut down and put Nigeria. A senior police officer actually spoke on the question of anonymity that what the union did was laughable because the issue is not with Nigeria, the issue is with their employers, and they just put the entire country at risk because they don't want to write an exam. And I'm sure that the union will have their own reasons, but this is the whole country that we're talking about. And let's not just say because we have accepted ASUU doing this strike for greater good, and everybody now feels like we can also go on strike to get what we want. We really, really need to put the interest of the nation forward in some areas, and power is too essential for us to have a shutdown. According to the experts in the papers, this is a security threat to us as a country. That's all we can take on Front Page Review for today. When we return, we'll go right into the stories for the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Government has extended Okada ban to 4 more local government areas and 6 local council development areas. The Commissioner for Transport, Dr. Frederick Oladeyinde, confirmed the development, noting that the decision was approved after a review of the earlier ban on commercial motorcycles operation in 6 local council areas. Joining us on the show today is the Special Advisor to the Governor on Transportation, Honorable Shola Giwa. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
We would like to hear your thoughts from Lagosians who've experienced the ban, benefits, not benefits. Call us on 081-270-53687. You You could also tweet to us at TVC Connect, #YourViewTVC. We'd love to hear from you. So why the review? What was going wrong? What was going well? Why was there a need for a review to expand the areas where the Okada ban is being implemented?
Thank you, Tokwe. Basically, for every government, you have to sit down and review whatever action, whatever policy you're brought about. So sometimes this year, the first ban was started June 1st. So as a government that listened to people, we had to get views of people, feedback, how has it affected us. We spoke to them. We got feedback from the General Hospital. We got feedback from the police. And then we said we have to review this. So on Tuesday, we called a town hall meeting. Being a government, the government of Babajide is a government that listens to people. We want everyone to be involved in whatever it is we're doing. So we held this town hall meeting. In fact, it was BKO that Babajide was the one that compared that debate. And what happened? Everyone there, from all facets of lives, the religious leaders were called, the Obas were called, CDAs, the military, even the civil society were there, and even the academia. And unanimously, everyone was of the opinion that Lagos State should ban the activities of Okada as a commuter forms of transportation. So that's what everyone said. However, the governor, being the one that would execute this, we sat down with him and said, okay, yes, this is what the people want. However, we need to take this thing in phases. So that's why we came up with this new 4 local governments, 6 LCDs. So now making half of the local government in Lagos. And if you look at what we've done so far, it will be starting from Oshodi down to Etiosa. So the connecting Oshodi, Mushin, Shomolu, Surulere,
and now captured
Bagada, Isolo, that is talking about the airport road and all that, up to Etiosa, Lagos and VI Sule. So it's something that we sat down to do. So all the major express roads where most of these accidents happen, the major highways is where we are focusing on. And then Okada enforcement is something that's very risky. These guys will do anything to escape. And we don't want to lose lives. Even though having those Okada on the road is causing lots of lives to be lost. However, even enforcing them in the first place can lead to loss of life or accident. So we have to balance it.
Can you tell us exactly what the stakeholders, what were the things that they noticed that they thought that this should be extended? What were the things that they mentioned that should encourage an extension of this ban?
Okay. They didn't ask for an extension. They asked for a blanket ban.
Yes, what?
A professor from Ogun State University, Professor Badejo, actually gave us a paper on it. Okay. And we saw the numbers of deaths, the numbers of accidents that is normally recorded in our hospitals has gone down drastically. Even the police said the number of crimes, the rate of crimes in the areas where we have banned it has gone down drastically. Fantastic. So based on that, so people can now sleep, people can now walk, because people can't even walk on the roadsides. So the idea is this has become a menace. And then what Lagos State has, the plan of Lagos State for commuter transportation is mass transit.
Yes.
So no country will actually say the way to go is moving by bikes. So you can imagine even we are moving even from Danfo, we are trying to move to high-capacity buses bringing the light rail that will convey people. So a big bus, say for example, a BRT bus, will take up to about, say, 660 people. So one small, you can imagine the number even of emission that will come from 80 bikes or 10 buses. So this we're doing, so it's a comprehensive thing we're trying to do.
Nima, you?
So my concern is about how to do this without what I would call aggressive enforcement. So you see the police all the time trying to enforce this, and there are constant clashes. We took a story in the paper today, a clash with the army. Yeah. Is there this is my suggestion, and I'm thinking maybe you buy into it, that, the buses will be dispatched immediately so that the alternative is now there and people can see that the roads are free. And I also live in an area where it's it's beyond possibility for us to imagine that there will be no bike. Because you can only, sometimes our kids will be like, Mommy, everybody's going on the bike. Can we get out of the car? Because that's the reality. How quickly can you say enforcement of traffic, and we can get free traffic in certain areas before you know the bikes come?
Mention the areas so that...
Okay, for instance, on Old Ojo Road, your Lagos State has not been felt on Old Ojo Road for years now. They have not been felt. Under this present administration, the immediate past one completely abandoned. And then they continue to license terminals, all the way into satellite town. Licensing of terminals within residential areas for people who have always known a soft, easy life of taking a shuttle bus. We are now Okada people. So if you bring an Okada ban and we're looking like...
How would you survive?
Are you people pretending? Don't you know the problems that you have approved to come and live with us? How do you want to get us out of it? So,
okay, basically, I will definitely talk about the issue of the tank farms and the tankers, because I have a lot to do with that in my last assignment for the state. However, if you notice where you mentioned, Ojo is not even where... I
know you will not come there.
So
just give us.
We are a systemic government. Whatever we do, we have to look into it. We have to... What will be the repercussion of this? What are the pros and cons? We know there are some things we need to put in places. If you look at all these local government and LCDs that we have banned Okada there, you will see that we have the first mile and last mile buses in those places, or the normal buses that will go into the arterial roads. So it is a systemic thing that we know that for us to put somewhere else, we have to put somewhere in place. So for all these places, the first and last miles buses have been, Lamata has already...
So what kind of buses are they?
Oh, just small mini buses. So these mini buses are meant to go into the arterial roads, where the bikes usually go. And seriously, there are ways we were moving before the bikes come. Even for our health.
We were walking.
We were walking. From your house to the bus stop, we all walk. And then we are not really looking at it. We should look at the security of lives and property. And then you know there are mob actions.
Plant more trees.
My initial question was on the enforcement.
Yeah, so let me get to the enforcement.
So I know what the security is about.
Okay.
I'm asking how quick the alternative is there. So people just don't patronize them rather than have police aggression.
Okay, so the enforcement, we have a model for the enforcement. We are working with the police. And then we have a group of young men that we are training to work with police. So it's also a form of employment, job creation. So we have what is called the anti-Okada squad. So we recruit them from the locality and work with the DPO. So the DPO gives them police backup. So that is how we've been doing this. So we train them, yes, for 2 weeks. So we're already recruiting now. No, they've started the training. Yes, they started training yesterday. So what we're doing is we train them on how to enforce this law, how to be able to arrest these bikers without causing any accident or any damage. So we understand that, like I said, arresting a bike is even harder than arresting a truck.
Exactly.
Because the bike is easier to maneuver and the guy will want to do everything to escape. So, like I said, it's a phase. And on the issue of the tank farm, I must talk about it. We are already engaging with the tanker owners. You know what we did in Apapa with MPA? So we are extending the same thing to the tanker farmers. In fact, Mr. Governor has given us permission to speak with them. We're already engaging them. So we have to look at it in relation to the physical planning and all that. We know that. See, another thing you don't understand is that most of these permits comes from the federal government.
I would, I really, this tank farm issue, let's not even enter there. Because tank farm is a full day.
So I will come here. Yes, just call me. There's a plan on ground. We're already in discussion with them. And there's a side that's going to work.
We will arrange it very well. Let's take a break now. When we come back, yes, today is Okada ban that we're dealing with. When we come back, we'll ask more questions and we'll be willing to take your calls and tweets regarding the ban on Okadas in some areas within Lagos State. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We still have with us Honorable Shola Giwa, who is talking to us about the Okada ban that has been extended to 4 more local governments, 6 LCDAs within Lagos State, after a town hall meeting was had to discuss the review. BC had a question for you before the break.
I wanted to find out if this current one that has just been extended, that will be starting September 1st, if there are enough minibuses to cover the areas. That's one. And how are you going about those roads that still need some sort of fixing? You know, the roads that don't allow vehicles to enter in the first place, and why people resort to taking bikes. How are you running everything together to ease this restriction?
Okay, so I think I should start from the back for you.
Okay.
It's not the road that make people start
taking bikes.
It was the economic downturn. And then even a government policy of giving bikes, politicians giving out bikes. And we know what that's cost. We don't have artisans again. We don't have people doing any work. Yeah, sure. So we have to start importing artisans from Togo and Lome. So that's not the reason. However, for the roads, the public works have been taxed and been doing a lot in fixing the roads. In fact, every day, they work now night and day. Okay. And they list the numbers of roads and the streets that they are doing every day, every night. Fixing the arterial road, that's the public works bureau. And then Lamata has pushed out 1,000 buses, those first mile and last mile, and more are still coming out. I said this is a deliberate, we're doing this deliberately. That is, we know the areas where we need to fix these things. That's why we said we had 6 before, now added 4, make it half of all the local governments that we have. And like I said, if you look at it, it's all the way from Oshodi and Ejigbo, connecting the airport road to Oshodi again, Moshe to Surulere, then Bagada. You understand? These are the places where we have all the arterial roads, even including this place, Ikosi.
So you mean the Okadas are now banned here?
Are banned here.
Wow.
Too.
No, but okay. So let's break it down.
Yes.
When we have this Okada ban, are they still allowed to operate in the corners inside the streets?
No.
You're saying there's a complete ban?
There's a complete ban in that in all the LCDAs and the local government that were mentioned.
They don't want to see you at all.
At all.
Okay.
So in this area, let's say, for example, there are shuttle buses around here.
Yes, I know that they brought in shuttle buses here. But my concern is people who have lived their lives, and where I used to stay before, we had like 8 to 10 people that their livelihood was from riding bikes. And they came from the north, got bikes when they got here. And right now, I'm imagining what would their livelihood, what would they do as a means of survival while they cannot do their regular business of riding a bike. Are we also tracking the number of increased crime that are not bike-related but could be indirectly bike-related because they can't be on bikes anymore?
Are not bike-related, indirectly bike-related. Is that
Yes.
So I understand. So we're talking about the economic
hardship
of this. So basically what we look at it, there are 2. We're speaking about security and then health issues. Now, we now want to talk about the issue of employment and the economy. So basically, Lagos State are putting so many things in place to make this thing easy. We have the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund for SMEs.
Is it available to Okada riders to go there and say, I was riding a bike before, now I want to get a job?
So we have, WAPA, Ministry of Women Affairs is there. That we have so many vocational schools.
Centers, I know.
Then we have the agric for farmers. If you look at this, we said these Okada riders are from the north. What they were doing before was actually farming. So the idea is about quick money. Everybody just want to make quick money. And there's no easy ride to success. We have to be able to do something. So we have to just suppose we want...
So you're saying the information now is people that used to ride bikes before, they can now go to their farm lands.
We have agric, they will get. So also all the vocational centers. And now there's something you're not looking at. What is the age range of the people that are riding this bike? They are between 25. They're even coming down from 18 to like 35. So how do you retire? How do you sustain this?
I'm not thinking that right now.
I'm not thinking that. After riding Okada for how many years, what will you do? So it's that age that is the most productive in the society is the one that is being wasted.
Okay, so for me, knowing the insecurity and everything happening in the north and why it's a major source of just the movement of a lot of young people to this part of the country, you know, but
That's your own assertion.
Yes, let's pack it there. Let's talk about enforcement in Lagos State of the previous ban, of the existing ban. We know that there are times during the day, very early in the morning or much later at night, and we see people on bikes. So it means that the enforcement is not 24-hour enforcement. And also, we need to understand, are there a particular group of people that are allowed to use their bikes, like soldiers, police officers, dispatch riders, especially when we have stories of police officers trying to enforce a ban and soldiers attacking them for doing that?
Okay, so basically, for every law that we have, the police is empowered to make sure that those laws are enforced. That's the most important. And the police works 24 hours, 7 days a week. Okay. Yes.
If you say so,
that's what the police sign up for.
Yeah, that's what they signed up
for. That's what they signed up for.
Okay.
So that is that. So enforcement should be 24 hours. Even though for the guys that we are trained, they don't work 24 hours. They work from morning till evening. That is what we have on ground. However, so back to your question again. Police officers, I'm still coming there. Police officers and military officers are allowed to use their bike because even the government has procured these bikes for them on loan as gifts for ease of movement. You understand it now? So what do we say? That if you must ride these bikes as a police officer, you should be in your complete uniform.
Oh.
Yes.
Or a military officer.
Yes.
Are you communicating
that? explains why this incident happened then.
Yes.
Because probably wasn't...
Was in plain clothes.
Yes. So you have to be in your complete... So you get it now. Even last man has bikes, don't forget. Okay. The police has bikes also. And also...
But their bikes are rigged different. They usually have
course.
those...
So we say the bikes will have to be at least 222 cc.
Okay.
That should be the power of the bike you're going to use. However, it's when you give power to people, we should all respect the law. Yeah. You should not be a lawbreaker. One of the major things that came out of that conference that we had, that debate that we had, town hall meeting, that we had was that the police should stop buying vehicles for their brothers, or Okada for their brothers and people. Someone said that. Politicians should stop using it to do poverty alleviation.
Thank you.
We don't need bikes.
We don't need bikes. This is a 21st century economy. This is a smart city. So we need to get to that level. Look at what the governor just did day before yesterday. The last beam of the rail that was going to come from Mile 2 to CMS has just been completed. And the governor has assured us that by the grace of God, by the end of this year, that line will be ready.
Wow.
And the same thing for the red line. So, and that will also solve some of your issues.
I have been counting down to the...
the promise of Governor Badije Sanwo-Olu is a talk and do governor. When he says something,
we can
delivers.
see it. Talk and do.
Yes.
One of the major highways where Okada ban is effective now is Apapa Oshodi again. So I wanted clarity because the reality is that it's still not ripe yet.
It's not implemented.
Time. So if you look at from Sonya presently, this morning was when I saw sanity for the past 2 weeks from Sonya all the way to Bega Bridge, at least, because I have done Bega once just to see how bad it was, just to get to work. It's constant traffic because there's construction. And so people would resort to Okada. Where exactly in Apapa would you say is traffic free where you don't expect to see and the shuttle buses are working? Okay,
so when you mentioned Sonya, you are mixing it up with Apapa.
I'm just giving you both landmarks.
We don't let
Mile 2 to Apapa.
Exactly. Mile 2 to
but the traffic starts from
Mile 2 to Tinkan.
So you said something. Yes. So there's no way we want to develop that we will not be able to take in some pains. You can't have omelette without breaking. Yes, no. I'm being sincere. There's no way we'll make omelette without breaking eggs. We want progress. This government is putting all the major infrastructure in place. And don't forget that infrastructure needs to be renewed.
Yes.
Even if you build a road, we don't renew it. And then so as we are building that road, we have to at least allow the pains a bit. But at the end of the day, you're still going to laugh. If you remember Okpebi Road, it used to be very bad then. Now everybody's going up and down on So of course, there's always a bit of hardship. However, what we're trying to do is that we have to manage the traffic. In Lagos, the rural-urban migration is high because of the facility, because of what the government of Lagos State
is doing.
And will continue to do it. So people that are moving. However, Ogun State is actually taking advantage of that.
Please, let's not talk about Ogun State. Let me take this phone call. Because Bernard has called in from Port Harcourt. I'm wondering, we're discussing Lagos and Bernard is calling from Port Harcourt. Bernard, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Maybe a Lagos
good morning. You're wondering if they're at the right point. I actually called. I've been having this thing to tell you last year, but I've not made it. But today I've made it. Okay. So I actually called to say that I always appreciate your perspective on every issue. Therefore, I call you my philosopher. That is why I called. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Please, let's not go to Ogun State. We are waiting for
I was actually talking about the rural-urban migration. And Ogun State is doing a lot with Lagos State to stem that. People will come to Lagos because Lagos is vibrant. Because the governor of Lagos is doing so many things, doing the right thing. So people will come. So, however, it means that when there's prosperity, you will see traffic. However, it is the traffic that you cannot manage that is the problem. So the whole idea is every part of Lagos, if you go to New York, there's always traffic there. Yes, but you can predict how you move. When it turns to when you cannot predict how you come from here to from here to Alausa, that becomes a problem. If you can manage the traffic, the time, then it's really no traffic. So gridlock is what we do not want. We don't want gridlock.
Well, we can always manage traffic.
LASMA is really on their toes.
I must commend LASMA.
Yes, please. They are doing a yeoman's job. I can tell you. They are doing a yeoman's job. Please.
We'll take a quick break. When we return, I can see some questions. We'll take questions from YouTube. We'll take questions from Twitter. And we'll take Bisi's question as well. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the ban on Okadas in Lagos State and the expansion of the area where Okadas are banned with Honorable Shola Giwa. Sir, you have been around. You are a Lagos of Lagos. You are a Lagosian of a Lagosian. If Murai was around, she would connect with you because all of you are Isaleko, Lagos people. And for a long time, the last time I was in Lagos, it was a very stressful journey within the market because I was so used to, I'll park my car somewhere and take a bike,
CBD,
go to Tom Jones, take a bike from there to Balogun, and now we're unable to have that flexibility. It slows. I hope the data you've gotten shows that it slowed down business within. How are you resolving the internal Okada for people within Lagos Island?
Please, may I add this one? There's a message here from Property Madam on YouTube. It says, how effective is the ban of Okada in Lagos? The Okada riders in Abule Egba returned after about 2 weeks after the ban. Some are even facing one way right now. I was there 2 weeks ago, and I noticed there were a lot of bike activities.
Abule Egba was not part of
this current ban. Okay.
It's not part of it. Don't forget that before now, there's a law that does not allow bikes to be on the highway.
Yes.
So what we are doing is not something. It was because of COVID, NSAS, and all that affected the enforcement. So what we are doing is actually not new. But we are taking it in phases because we understand the fact that it has economic impact. However, the health impact and security impact outweighs the economic impact. And then the government is doing a lot of cushion. Lagos State is doing a lot to cushion that economic impact. However, back to your question of Lagos. So to you, that's...
It's not an area,
let me just take this call from Ikotun. Melvin has called in from Ikotun, then we'll add it to the question you were about to answer. Melvin, welcome to the show. Oh, we lost the call, so you can...
Lagos Island is a total ban.
They say it's back again.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello, welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I would like to speak on the topic right now, the ban of Okada. Okay, yeah. It's actually a good development. I won't lie. It's a good development. And the fact that they're actually going to ban the bikes on the express road, it's not a bad thing because I'm in support of that. Because, you know, when I'm driving, I see the way these guys drive on the road. It's really not nice. But banning it close to streets, like I have an elder, my parents are old. When they get to church, they take bikes to the church. Because most times they can really can't access the road. The road is a bit bad. Now, what about those streets that are very, very far, like from the bus stop? How do they trek down to the house? That is my concern. Banning it along the road. Banning it along the road, like the express road, like the Motion Road, the Oshodi, I'm in support of that. But in that street, I think to be fair, they shouldn't ban that. The ones on the street, like, I think to be fair. And then, what is the alternative? Would they give them jobs? Would there be job creation?
All right, thank you, Melvin. So you have a combination.
I think the question is almost the same. So if you look at Lagos Island, my immediate appointment, I was the senior special assistant to Mr. Governor on Central Business District.
Okay.
So I understand what you're saying. However, if you look at Lagos Island, Marina, there's a whole lot of parking space for you there. That is true. However, people hardly use that parking space on the outside Marina. Everybody wants to drive in. And then you're coming to a Central Business District. Usually, anytime you want to go to a Central Business District, you park and then you walk. From Balogun to Tom Jones, it's just like 3 minutes walk. Yes, look at it. I'm being sincere with you.
Body pushing body.
So I understand that. But I'd rather you, when you go to Dubai, from one place to the other, you do your...
You
walk. When we travel out of Lagos or Nigeria, we walk.
Yes, we do.
Why don't we want to walk here? Between Tinubu and Idumota is a walking distance. Or Tinubu to Tom Jones, from Tom Jones. Yes, that's the honest truth. So we need to... No, of course, on a Sunday, it's understandable. However, even with the market people there, they have shops. They don't even want to put their wares in the shop. They want to come outside and put it put it right in your face. So it's also something that we need to work on as a people. Can we do things better than the way it is? So, and for bus stops, there's this adage in Yoruba, or something where the chicken was eaten before
there was maize.
There was maize or corn. We used to, and it's even good for our heart, it's good for our health. So we need to walk a bit. It's not something you want to walk a long distance.
All right, so let's take a call from...
questions.
Yeah, after this call from Oluwakemi. Oluwakemi is called in from Festac. Welcome to the show, Kemi.
Thank you.
You're live. Please ask your question.
Oh, my question is on the hot topic going on now, the Okada ban.
Go ahead, please.
And what I want to say is, I hope those that were employed to be arrested or seen to it that they obey the law, I hope they will not be collecting bribes.
Thank you so much. That's a good question. Those that are meant to arrest.
Yes. So basically, where do you want to run to? the bikes that you arrest, it's not, so these guys that we say they work with police and our own officials. So there's an official with them who is a civil servant, who understand that the fact that his job is also on the line if he's caught. So, and then when you catch you, of course, what you do. So what we do with the bikes is once we arrest those vehicles, we take them for crushing immediately. So how do we even want to move them? So of course, we have incentives for them. We know what we're doing with them. However, we'll get there.
Okay, we've got a few questions. So Sean Phillips here says, can we ride bicycles on the routes where bikes have been banned? That's one. And Lions Group says, I would also like to confirm something about the Okada ban. Does this ban affect us with private bikes? Because I am embarrassed every blessed day by policemen or area boys acting on behalf of Lagos State government. Please, I need more clarification.
I also need clarification on what we refer to as private.
His personal.
Is it the small one?
Exactly. If you have anything less than 200 and 220 cc's, you cannot ply
even if it's a private one.
Even if it's a private one, because it is not safe.
Okay.
The engine capacity is not safe. And then the emission from even that lower engine capacity is also not good. So that is that. So if you, and then also as riding your own personal motorcycle, or ensure that you have all your safety gadgets, especially your helmet, and get your rider's card. That's that. And for bikes, bicycle is good. We're encouraging it.
Okay.
We're encouraging the bicycle.
Okay,
it's good for our health.
Let me take this call, then we'll come to your question. Alade is called in from Lagos Island. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I observed that they have been granting our honorable so many questions. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Alade from Lagos Island.
All right, go ahead, you're live.
Okay, firstly, I would like to congratulate Honorable Sholakiwa on the new appointment. He has been doing great. And also, I observed that he has been attending to so many questions and perfectly he answered.
It's not so clear, but his congratulations message connected with you. Nima has a message.
Oluwada Milari says, you said there are a lot of poverty alleviation programs for the banned Okada riders. Is this information readily available to them? Are they aware of the opportunities? And I took this tweet because you mentioned LST as an alternative, and I know how many artisans that I have pushed there whose application did not pass stage. Nobody called them.
They did not fulfill the requirements.
So what is the requirement? If it is for us to create an alternative, why is the requirement so stringent?
Because to ride a bike, you just need to own a bike.
Okay, I will explain something to you. This is when I was a member of the House of Assembly. And I was the chairman of our House Committee on Wealth Creation, which that agency
came under.
Is under. I collected the funds for a lot of people. I did guarantor for a lot of them. I tell you, I still have loans I'm still paying back right now.
People are not ready.
People collect the money and disappear.
They see it as commonwealth.
So, you understand? So right now, more stringent measures are being put in to effect. However, there's still
skill acquisition.
No, the skill acquisition. You come to WAPA. So we have WAPA there. Even we have WAPA, then civil engagement, Ministry of Civil Engagement. Seriously. So for me, Nima.
But these are only open to Lagos citizens.
No, they are open to only Lagos citizens. So what I'm saying is this. On TV now, I'm telling you, I'm putting myself. So to be called. So of course, you go online. You feel if you meet the criteria, you. So I will engage you.
Okay,
please engage me. Engage me. That will do this.
We have a phone call. Let's talk to Alhaji Subara. Alhaji Subara, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. You're live.
Thank you very much. Let me just direct my statement to Lagosians.
Okay.
I want Lagosians to understand the basic reason why, the government of Lagos State is banning Okada. Because of the citizens of Lagos. We should understand the security challenge we are facing in this country.
Sure.
Everybody, we should understand things are not the way it is, especially on security. And I give kudos to Lagos State government, and I still want them, to extend that, ban to other local government, especially in Nigerian too. You understand? So it is. I want Lagosian to understand the basic principle of this Okada issue. We have got a lot of experience and we have got a lot of information. And of recent, Lagos State Police Commissioner is telling us that Lagos is in red alert. So you know what it means by that. When the state is on the red alert, that means all things is not well. And please, I'm appealing to the Lagos State government. The past government, he introduced neighborhood watch, basically because of a principle, because of this.
All right, I wanted to ask you.
The extent, the performance of this the neighborhood watch now, they need to be accused. Look at what is happening in Ondo State. The Amatekun, you see the performance they are doing, and I believe that to be a kind of reflection,
Thank you, Alhaji Subar. But we're talking about Okadas, so let's stick to the topic. I wanted to ask you about the prosecution. We discussed this on the show the day the announcement came out that not only would they prosecute
the Okada
riders,
but
they will prosecute the passengers as well. How successful has that been? And do you have the data? Has it served as a deterrent for people when they feel they might get prosecuted?
I must be sincere with you. There's been high compliance with this ban. Though we still see errant drivers, errant people that are just negative-minded or criminal-minded that still want to continue. So they are testing the limit of the government. Yes. So this government is saying that we will not take it. The health and security of our people is important. Yes. And the alternatives for you, if you really want to engage yourself in lawful job. So that is it.
Let's take Uzo from Bariga. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Morning. On the issue of this Okada ban, initially when the 9 and the 6 everything we are banned, we are some of us are in support because some of them are like Ikeja, it's a capital city, then Lake is hybrid areas, Papa is a commercial center, so those all were supported. But now they're still to Bariga and some other environments. Bariga is a peace-loving place. We don't have challenges of security here. So this issue of including Bariga is not a welcome development.
Okay.
We live in Bariga for the past 40 years now. They had no issue of robbery involving Okada and Kidnapping. So including Bariga is a robbery. I think last time there's a robbery at Access Bank at Charlie Boss. Those Okada that meant the people that you pursue the robber. They caught him for police. You can confirm from the Petrol police station.
Okay, so Uzo is contesting the fact that Bariga is being included, that Bariga's
has been peaceful.
It's been peaceful, Okadas have been
behaving.
So like I said, it's a trend. It's been peaceful does not actually mean that something might not come up. And that's that. And also, let us look at it ultimately. Lagos State plan. The plan for Lagos State is urban mass transit. So that is it. So we have to start. People need to know that. And really, like you said, Bariga has been largely peaceful. However, there's a good road connectivity and commuter buses, commuter bus shuttle around
everywhere. They drop you right in front of you.
So what we're saying is that please let us, and then these Okadas actually add to the traffic. That's what a lot of people don't get. They come in your front, they park anyhow, they stop anywhere, they bash your car. And I must say this, we are starting seeing a trend now. The dispatch riders.
I wrote it like that was my last question to you.
We are starting seeing this same mob action type of activity with the dispatch riders. I think it's this
reckless driving,
not waiting for red lights. And I'm using the opportunity to tell you, we are coming for you. I'm not saying yes. We are no. We're not coming for the businesses. The lives
comply.
The lives of Lagosians is important. Rules must be followed. Without law and order, we cannot have a society. Everyone would have to comply with the law. And these laws, it's not as if they just come out arbitrarily. You just don't bring it up. So we are going to review their activities and we'll give them stand. Luckily, they are all registered with us. So it's easy for us to pull them back. They are regulated. So we're going to meet with them very soon. However, I'm using excuse me, I'm using this opportunity to tell those people that own those courier companies that it's high time you call the riders to order.
So final. We extend this ban to Sherry North, GRA.
Well, we are still dealing with this.
Yes.
It's in phases, like I said. We'll still sit down, review. We'll still come here and review it again and see how it goes.
Thank you. Okay,
just in support, there are a few messages in support. Ewe Dairo Amina says, I support the ban of bike on the express to reduce at the rate at which people have died and get injured on a daily basis. Thank God it has reduced, but they should do something about the traffic. And then there's Dolani Robert who says, kudos to the governor for giving the restriction ban on Okada riders advance notice. This is a way to go to restore sanity in our transportation sector. Unemployment is not a yardstick to ignore activities of Okada riders. I took this before, so that you also know that there are people who are in support.
Thank you so much, Honorable Shola Giwa, for joining us. You've given us a lot of information. Please, everybody should be mindful of the fact that the implementation on these 4 local government and 6 LCDAs will start from the 1st of September, right? So between now and then, clear your bikes off those particular local governments, and hopefully we'll see more reduction in crime rates and hospitalizations due to accidents. Thank you once again. We'll take a quick break.
Thank you.
When we return, we'll bring in our celebrity guests. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. This is Celebrity Friday. We had to discuss that important topic of Okada. Some of you feel like it was too serious, but it's essential because Lagos cares about you. But we have a celebrity with us today, Eniola Ajao. She's a famous Nigerian actress, filmmaker, entrepreneur. She's beautiful, as you can see. A talented actress who's been nominated for Best Actress in Supporting Role in a Yoruba Language Movie at the 2015 Best of Nollywood Awards. She's also known for her dynamism and versatility in delivery of her roles on set. She's done over 75 movies. Welcome to the show, Eniola Ajao.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
As in, I don't know, how do you guys, you've done over 70 movies. For me, that still feels like, do you sleep or do you live on sets? What's the work ethics? How tough has it been being an actress, producing movies back to back? I mean, acting and being on sets back to back enough to produce that body of work. How long have you been at this?
It has not been easy at all, you know. I've been in the industry for like 17 years now. No, but professionally from 2010.
Okay.
So I've produced like I think about 7 movies, but I've acted in several movies. So it has not been easy, but you just have to dedicate your time because of the passion, you know, and everything. So it has not been easy at all. But
what are the sacrifices you had to make to have this body of work, to have made so many movies? What were the things that you were like, oh, I had to give this up. All my mates were doing it, but I had to give it up to do my work.
Yeah, well, I studied accounting in the university, but, you know, the passion of me wanting to be an actor
was so strong.
Yes. So I had to like, well, let me leave accounting for what I really love to do.
Wow.
Yes. So that's why I've been dedicating my time to that.
It's about passion for you.
Yes.
But, you know, we cannot love something that is not earning. So how lucrative is this industry?
You went right there.
Well, to the glory of God, we're not there yet, but we are making it. We are living fine. Yes, exactly. We are doing well. Yes. maybe not as we expected, but
it's coming.
It's not bad at all.
So can you, as an actor, survive on just the acting, or you have to do small businesses on the side for those days that scripts don't come?
Like that's why we have several sections in the filmmaking industry. You can be an actor, a filmmaker, like a producer. You can be a screenwriter, a makeup artist. So we have crew in the industry that are doing well too. So even if acting is not coming forth, you're not making money from acting,
can be writing.
You can as well make money from other things in the industry.
Within the same.
Yes. Well, when you're an actor, when you're known as an actor, and in between acting gigs, will you be able to just go and be a makeup artist in that? Does it limit you, or does that mean you have to become maybe a producer and a director? Or to say, oh, I'm doing costume design and makeup artist, would an established actor want to do that?
No, I think if you're coming in, everybody comes as, they have it in mind that they're coming to act. They want to be an actor, they want to be an actress. But at the end of the day, it doesn't work that way. For everybody. Because, yes, everybody cannot be, known. Everybody cannot be seen on the screen, rather. So we have so many people doing well behind the camera. Nobody will even tell you before
you find your spots.
You'll be like, and I'm good in this, I'm good in that. So you start like picking it.
How was it received when you dropped accounting for acting by your parents? Because we know this. Accounting was one of the, if you did not do law, accounting, engineering, medicine.
There's money.
So after you have done all of that in school, you now opted for acting. How did your parents receive it?
My dad was against it before he died. So, but I made him understand that this is what I have passion for. You wanted me to study accounting, which I did. You wanted me to be an accountant. But Dad, I love acting. Yes. And it just, left me to do what I love to do.
How was the journey getting into the movie industry? Because there are many people watching right now that they are like you. They're like, I love acting, but I don't audition tire. They've gone for several auditions. They've tried their best, and they seem not to be getting it. How was your own penetration into the movie industry? Did you try English before trying Yoruba? How was it?
I joined professionally in 2004. But when they started, inviting me, when I became a commercial actor was 2010.
Wow, so 6 years.
Yes, after. So it was not easy at all. Absolutely.
Sorry to cut you. Can you explain to us what professionally and commercially means? Professional actor and then commercial actor. What would that mean?
Yes, it's not when you join the industry that the film would come. So, yes, some 10 years, some 15 years, some 20 years.
Wow.
I'm aware of a lot of people in this industry that they've been in it for like 30 years, and they are not known yet. And they keep pushing that one day they will be known. So I joined officially in 2004. So
you registered?
Yes, I registered under Great Value Movies. So he is a producer, he's not an actor. So I went, to school, studied and all of that. So when I came back in 2010, I was like, okay, this is what I really want to do. And I have to pursue it. So I started producing. So I joined the Odunlade Adekola group, and from then God did his best on me.
Yes. Does it matter what group?
No, it doesn't really matter.
Can you do it without being in a group?
Well, it would take time before you are known. But if you are under a group that is already known, I think it's faster for you to be out there.
So there's something that baffles me. I'm a Yoruba in the film industry. I go on Yoruba channel and we're just watching. I love to see a bit of history of areas. I find the history and areas and language interesting. But something baffles me. There's no beauty look in the Yoruba film industry, as in majorly 90% that is not toned, that does not have a fair skin. Is it that
anymore?
Yes. Why are we so apologetic? I know just a few. I can name just a few.
I see her knuckles now. Knuckles are not black.
No. I'm not saying no. She's too. But she didn't bleed. She has the specifics. If she was a dark-skinned person, it would have been easier. And why are we apologetic about our people and we're speaking our own, shooting films in our own local language?
Well, I think this is olden days stuff that people have to think that, okay, we are not light in complexion, you won't be camera friendly.
You will stress
like
the cameraman.
Yes. So most times you tend to go for a lighter skinned person. But right now, in this age and time, nothing of such is happening. It's either you are good. If you are good, you are good. Yes, either you are black, you are in between, or you are light skinned. They just go for you if you are good, or if you want to give them, or if you can give them what they want.
But they used to light me specially because I am black.
Because she's in the industry too.
Wait, bring that other light. I know it's my color, but
exactly.
We are
the
here.
camera most times.
Yeah. But how do you get your stories? So you're into producing. Do you sit down and create your stories, then get a screenwriter? What's the process like?
Most times I write myself. If I have writer's block, I get a writer to write for me, depending on how I want to do it most times. If I feel like, somebody tell me about a script, I'm like, I like this script. I just go for it. And I get it from the person.
And you pay for it?
Yes, I pay for it.
Of all the movies that you have been in, which is the most, which of them are you most proud of?
All. But
okay.
let me say,
and why?
The movie that brought me to Limelight, which is, what's it called? Alani Pamalekun, a production of Okada Adekola. So it brought me to Limelight. So I think that is very challenging to be, to acted an officer. I never had idea of,
I think you do well all the time.
Did you see the movie?
I've seen you in a lot of time as a police officer.
Okay. Have you seen that?
But for those that did not know or haven't seen her in a movie, let me show them. Let's show you what she looks like, Eniola Ajao, in a movie setting. This is not her real face, though. She has plenty action, but let's see it right now. See the way all of us we're going to enter into, yes.
So we hear some conspiracy somethings inside the movie industry. That's for you to do well in the Yoruba movie industry, you have to, position yourself, prepare yourself from some spiritual angles. So
See the way she looks shocked.
That's what we hear. You're not attacked on set. There's a lot of very tight competition among the women there and all that. In your experience, have you noticed any of those?
Well, I'm not aware of going extra to be
the jazzy aspect.
Yes, in the industry, but I think this is everywhere. Even out of the movie industry, where we have sectors whereby people want to be like, okay, this person is doing more than me, I have to do more than this person, blah, blah, blah. But in movie industry, in this industry that I am, I think if you're in your lane or you're on your lane and you feel nobody is superior more than you, I think you won't have to clash with anyone, or you won't have to go extra or look for what is not. Yes, because everybody with their own destiny, you don't have to do more than what you can put out there, or you could put out there.
So you're not looking for. I always feel like what you're not looking, what you don't do, you will not receive. So because I know once she asked that question, you were shocked at the question. This is not normal. But we've heard those stories before about spiritual attacks and things flying around while people are on set because they feel like you're doing very well. I'm going to ask about this. There's a story around Nollywood Yoruba movie actors, and you hear comments about you saying, okay, you are in this troupe, you cannot work with that troupe, or you hear stories about clashing going on between them, association of Yoruba actors, Tampan saying this person, we're not going to talk to this person, we're going to ban this person from movies. How do you believe the union should work in order to promote? And this is a platform just for you to say, what would you love to see in the union of Yoruba actors?
I think not even Yoruba part of Nollywood alone. I think as a filmmaker or filmmakers, I feel we should come under one umbrella. I think it would help us a lot, not you being Tampan, being AGN, being this, being that. I think if we come together as a body, Nollywood in general, I think it will be better for us. So they won't be like, okay, I don't want to work with this person, I don't want to work with that person. So coming together as a body would really help the industry.
I have a question. So With like Hollywood, we hear a lot when they interview their actors, and they talk about some of the trainings that they have to go through for the profession in general, and then sometimes for a particular role, it will take them many months of training for that role before it's shot. Do we have that sort of system in the Yoruba industry? Are there roles that you'd had to take months away to train to become that character before you go, or it's just who's natural at this, let's go?
I think there are roles that you have to, take serious. You have to, be taught for you to get what you really want to put out there. You understand? You want to be a fighter in a movie. You understand? Yes, you have to train. For it to look real, for it to come out real, you need to get trained. You need to get trained for that. So it's not easy to do a lot of most roles in the industry. You just have to learn for you to bring your best out.
Okay. Any new things you're working on?
Yes, I just finished my project, Beast of Two Worlds, Ajakaju, which is coming to cinemas.
Cinemas?
Yes.
Awesome. That's a big one.
It sounds like an epic movie.
Yeah, it's an epic movie. So, Ajakaju, Beast of Two Worlds.
Ajakaju, Beast of Two Worlds. So when is that coming out?
We're looking at December.
Oh, good.
So is it a horror movie? Is it a scary? Is it drama? Is it comedy?
A lot of things.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's a combination.
Well, congratulations on it, and I'm sure everybody that is watching you now will be looking out for that when it comes to the cinemas. Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
That's all we can take on today's show. Thank you, ladies. It's been an amazing week. We can't wait for
Thank you.
This weekend, we're going to relax and be taken care of.
Thank you.
So we'll see you again next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye.